David Moore, Dallas Morning News. You're telling us earlier in the week about, again, just how with being a 17-point favorite, you're letting them know to just focus on themselves, not eat the cheese, that sort of thing. So, is that a message you have to reinforce over the course of the week, or with this team, do you just kind of let them know at the start and they handle it?
I mean, you're messaging every day. I mean, today, the focus was really the competition, internally. I thought the look teams were exceptional yesterday. I really liked the way the Wednesday practice, felt, looked, and everything. So I thought the team had a really good day. So I mean, the message today was just let's get out there and compete against each other and challenge each other. Actually, shared them a clip of Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan from the 1992 Dream Team. I'm sure everybody's seen it. So it's just the best challenges, some of the best competition I've ever been a part of is on the practice field. So, we're practicing out pads today because we're where we are there, because it's that time of year. But just keeping the competition and getting better each day, and obviously keeping focused on beating the Houston Texans.
Clarensville Fort Worth Star Telegram. Is Kelvin Joseph back today?
Yeah. Yes, he's back. He's in the meetings.
Sam Williams back as well?
Not yet. Yeah.
Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. How did Teron Smith look in his first official practice?
I thought he looked good. He's in good shape. So this will be a good day for him today. We'll increase his his workload from yesterday to today. But I thought Tyron had a solid day, good solid day.
Okay.
And damn braces are huge, though. I don't know if you've seen them out there.
Trees.
Todd Archer with ESPN. The 2 roster spots that you have, is that something that in years past you guys would have filled automatically, but now you can kind of be patient and wait as you're looking at that?
Yeah, I think the whole roster management, as you know, since the pandemic, and I'm totally in favor of it because it gives you an opportunity to have more players internally. So, yeah, it definitely gives you some room to continue to work that part of it. So yeah, that's clearly why it's being handled the way it is.
John Michelle, The Athletic. Have you talked to the guys at all about the possibility of getting double-digit wins and it being the first time since 1996 this franchise has done that back-to-back years?
No, I haven't. That's nice. Thank you, John. But I was not in my analytical report. But no, I mean, that's fine. That's all accomplishments here are good accomplishments. I think anytime you work for the Dallas Cowboys, I go back, I look at the season we had last year. Just some of the records and the performances that we had, and anytime you can say it's the best, or something that hadn't happened in 20 years or how many years, 10 years. So, I mean, it just tells you you're moving in the right direction.
Christy Scales, Cowboys Radio. When you turn on the tape of the Texans, they're obviously relying on a lot of young guys, and we may not see the rookie Stingley, but guys like Peacher, there's some that are really jumping out at you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's very impressive on video. I mean, love his running style. But I just think probably some of the best tape that we felt was the preseason game because a lot of those guys played in that game last year. So as far as our guys getting to see them. Because I think there's 2 players left from 2018. So I mean, that's really where our mind is. Obviously, we're spending more time on the game tape just to make sure we have the personnel breakdown correct. But end of the day, I mean, you're far enough into the season. Uncommon opponent, it's definitely in that category. But you're far enough in the season, you feel like you're comfortable with how you think they're going to come at you schematically. So this is more about playing against a team personnel-wise that we haven't played against.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. Hankins back today, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Coach, keeping to the Texans and their offense specifically, you guys, as a run defense, have started to kind of put it together over the past several weeks. And here you're up against another dynamic running back. From a coach's perspective, what do you see from Damian Pierce that makes him so dynamic? Well,
I mean, he's dynamic, the way he breaks tackles. I mean, I think the biggest thing for us, and not to, fluff off the importance, of what he means to his team, but it's just really the focus that we have. We know regardless of who they line up with, people are going to come into AT&T and try to run the football. So we need to stop the run. It's a focus of ours, and I really like the way we've responded after the Green Bay game. So and that focus won't go away. I think as long as we continue to line up, especially with our personnel and our scheme, that's going to be the point of focus, because I mean that's just the way everybody's going to try to attack us.
Clarence Hill, 4 Star Telegram. Is there any update on Odell Beckham? And is there a timeline when you need to know something?
No timeline that I'm aware of. I don't have an update. So just to be honest with you, haven't spoken to really anybody outside of the coaching staff and players this morning.
Mike, does this defense remind you of your Super Bowl defense with the playmakers you have at all different levels?
Definitely. I think anytime you look at the numbers, very similar. I mean that was a defense that really coming off of as Don Capers' second year, and Charles Woodson was the defensive player of the year in 2009. So I mean it was definitely a group that had playmakers on every level. So, but our pass rush is elite. I think that's clear. I think our ability to get the hands on the football takeaways, there's some similarities there. But yeah, that this when you look at numbers, and something I went back and looked at was how many times that the teams that I've coached where your offense and defense were both in the top 10 in scoring. Because I think that's a really key statistic when you're talking about having a complementary football formula. So, and we were not in the top 10 I think that year on offense. We had so many injuries in the beginning, but that's where I really like about where we are. I mean, you look at last year's team. I think we were 1-7. So it's just the balance that we've been able to create last year and this year is what I want it to look like.
Michael Belkin, Dallas Morning News. No part of that Green Bay game, the way it ended, I know was easy, but do you think in the long term that game will prove, or is proving to be good for this team, its psyche, its focus moving forward?
Well, I mean, when you don't win, I mean, is it good? It's all about winning. So I guess I would have to say no but I understand the substance of your question. So absolutely, I think that the lessons in that game are definitely ones that we had to be very honest with ourselves and really focus on moving forward. And I think our football team has done that. So that part has definitely been a good thing. But end of the day, when I look at the Green Bay game or any game that comes down to the wire, we've invested so much time. I've done this for quite some time, and how much time you spend on game management, clock management, situational calls, and things like that. You're always, you really only have so many reps. So where do you put the time in each one of those areas? And I know we have spent so much time, at the end of the game situation work. We call it's our adversity advancement segment. So it's been a daily segment that's been done, every team meeting and training camp. And so that's where I'm at. When we really work on something and we don't have the return on investment, that's where my mind goes. So and just to be where we were in that game, and we didn't get it done. Lesson well learned, no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, it is about winning.
All right.
Is that it? All right.
Oh, you got one.
Way getaway, huh?
Your response to Brittany's release, do you have any?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I think like everybody, just glad Brittany's home, and that's really the most important part of it. As far as getting into political opinions and so forth, that's off. That's not. This isn't the platform where I believe you discuss those. But thank God she's home.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're thankful you're back to work, AP.